Hi guys, it's Preston's Eight Lakes. I'm here with Jacqueline. I just wanted to make this quick video for you guys today showing off the feeders that I use to feed these guys, her and the tarantulas that I have. So, and I also want to show you guys me holding her because I know the last video we were going to, but we really didn't get a chance to. So, I just wanted to show you her, just show you her a little bit up close, and you guys get a little bit better look at her. She is a lot bigger now than even when I first got her, so you can really see her colors starting to come in pretty well now here. You can see that little jack-o'-lantern face on her abdomen there, and that's where she gets her name Jack-o'-lantern. And also her little fangs are actually, it looks like they're like a pink, maybe a purplish iridescent color, which is really cool to see here in person. And she is just staring right at the camera right now, so hopefully she doesn't jump towards it. If she does, that'll be a little bit of a surprise for you guys, but yeah, definitely be a surprise for me. But I just want to show you her real quick before I got to showing you the not so much stars of the show, which is the feeders, and basically going over like which ones I use, which ones get what tarantulas get what feeders, how I choose that, and how I take care of my feeders as well, because that's a whole other thing to keeping tarantulas as well, is you got to take care of the food. It's not like giving your cat or dog, kibble. So I just want to show you guys her real quick, and we'll get right into talking about the feeders. Okay, guys, I'm back. It's actually been a couple of minutes now. The one thing I didn't get to mention is that when you have a spider or a tarantula that actually likes you, they don't want to come off your hands very easily. They want to stick around, which Jacqueline did. It took me about 5 minutes to get her back in her enclosure. She was just not wanting to go back in. She was just wanting to stay on my hands, and actually, as I move my fingers around, I can feel the little webs that she spun as she walks around, because a lot of jumping spiders do that, and he actually sees some out in the wild and you pick them up, well, you let them walk on you. When they're time to go, they spin this little web and they do like a little bungee jump. And you can see them, they'll kind of like jump and they'll kind of dangle off your hand until they get to somewhere they want to land and then take off. So I think that's just a cute little thing about jumping spiders, but I just want to interject real quick. So here is one of my first feeders. These are small mealworms. I get this from a local shop that I get basically just all my supplies from. I get my feeders from there, my feeder containers. I've gotten a couple of tarantulas from there. I've gotten cinnamon, my Brachypelma amelia from there. And I also bought Jacqueline, she's from there. And then I had my Caribbean Versicolor. I bought them from that shop as well. And they've been great. All of them have been healthy. The Caribbean Versicolor, like I told you guys, did pass away just due to a bad molt. But everybody else has been healthy. You guys see Jacqueline. She's been, growing like a weed. And I think it's definitely thanks to like these feeders, because these feeders have just been great. So these mealworms, you guys can probably see them here. They're just tan, thin, little tiny guys. They actually, these guys, if you allow them to cocoon, or like you just don't feed them off, they will cocoon and then they turn into these black beetles, which actually you can see one in there, that little black thing that's going around, that's what they turn into. He just didn't get fed off yet. So, but these are what they normally look like. They are good in protein, definitely good in protein, good in moisture, and they're just a good feeder all around. Now, these guys are small. I give these guys to, people like spiders like Jacqueline, or my tiny one, like tinier ones like Curly, my curly hair tarantula. And then the other ones also got these guys as well, but they quickly grew out of these guys, because these just don't suffice when you get to a bigger tarantula. So yeah, and how I feed them is I just grab them by the tongs, grab them by the back here. Of course, they wiggle around once you grab them with the tongs, and then you just dangle them in front, drop them, do however, and then you just kind of drop them in there, and then they get fed. So that's those guys, and then I'll show you guys the big brother to these guys here. Okay, these are what I'm talking about. These are the large mealworms that I get. And these guys are definitely a lot gnarlier. Popped out here real quick. But these guys are definitely, they're a lot bigger compared to my finger here. I mean, they are pretty substantially bigger. So these guys I usually feed. I give these guys to my large tarantulas, and usually about two of them. None of my tarantulas are big enough to where they get like three or anything. Some of them don't even eat the two. It depends on how they're feeling. But same thing with the small ones. Just grab them, plop them in there, and then the tarantulas go after them. And as you guys see in some of my shorts, you just drop them in. The spiders, either they'll be fast or they'll take their time. Drop them again. They'll take the time or whatever. But as long as I just have to keep my eye on these guys, because like I said, if you don't and you allow these guys to burrow down in the dirt of the enclosure, then they'll cocoon and then they'll turn into those black beetles. And then the only problem with that is that those black beetles can actually harm your tarantula. Not necessarily, like the tarantula can definitely take them if they're the proper size, but at the same time, if your tarantula goes into a molt, and then these guys as a beetle come out and aggravate them, poke at them, bite them, whatever, when they're molting, which is when the tarantula grows and sheds its old exoskeleton and grows a new one. That can be very detrimental to the tarantula. So you always got to keep an eye on these guys. I've never had any problems with them. I just drop them in there, and every one of my tarantulas just eats them right away because my tarantulas seem to be like garbage disposals. So next, I'll show you guys some of the other ones that aren't worms that I use. Okay, so here I have these two containers. And like I said, I get all my feeders from the same store that's by my house. And I also got some of the tarantulas, and also they sell these containers that you can put your feeders in as well. And this is why I used to house them, because these things are great. They have these little tiny opening lids, which you can use them. I've only ever used them, just a small little lid, when I've had crickets in here. But I have dubia roaches in here, so you guys can see there's one right there. There's one that's right down there. Another one is underneath there. I'm actually running low a little bit because I just fed a whole bunch of my tarantulas just the other day, and they really like the dubia roaches. Oh, there's a big one right there. So these guys are great. These guys are very protein and high in calcium as well. And that's due in part to just the nature of what they are made up of, and as well as the feed that I give them. And I'll talk about that in a little bit as well. And then these guys are large dubia roaches. That one had small and medium dubia roaches. This one has large dubia roaches. And these guys are ones I give to the big tarantulas as well. And sorry about the ring light right there. But these guys do great as well for feeders, because they really are. They're big, they're hardy, they're thick, they're juicy. So the tarantulas love them, and they do have enough liquid in them to keep the thirst away from the tarantula and the spider. So that's good. And like I said, the high in calcium, which is good because you need the calcium to build calcium is good for bones in humans. Well, when you're an invert, which like a tarantula or a spider, your bones are your exoskeleton, your body. So you need good calcium so that your body grows properly. So that's why I feed these guys. So next I'll show you what this little powder is in here and what I use to feed these guys. Okay, so here's the food that I feed these guys. Now this one right here is a cricket feeder, but I give these to my dubia roaches as well because they're just good food, like it says, food, water, vitamins, and they're good nutritional for your feeders. I don't have crickets, and the reason why I don't have crickets is, one, because they smell. That's not something that, a lot of people think, oh, crickets, they made the chirping noise and they're loud. Not really. I mean, not with the amount that I get. They don't really make too much noise. They smell, because when they die, they let off this gas that actually is harmful to the other crickets. But the other crickets don't get that, because a lot of times the reason why they die is because the bigger crickets will kill the little crickets for food or whatever, and then the smell that the dead cricket puts off ends up killing the bigger crickets. So it's just a roundabout thing with crickets. And plus, they're just hard to catch, they're hard to get in your tongs, and then they're hard to make sure that the tarantula gets them. So I stick with dubia roaches or mealworms just because they're great. I also get hornworms, which are those bright blue, thick worms that you see on some other tarantula channels. Those guys are great. Those, I treat those like treats for my tarantulas because they're so juicy. There's like not a whole ton of protein in them, but they're high in water content for the tarantula, and a lot of people call them gummy worms because they do look like a gummy worm, and the tarantulas love them. But I just don't feed them a whole lot of those because you want a good variety of food. So anyway, back to the food. So I feed these guys my dubia roaches. This is just like a little juicy kind of like, it smells like carrots, so it must be like a carrot based food, and just drop a couple of those in the enclosure, and that's what they use to eat, and they can last weeks, even months sometimes, on just eating these. But then I did discover this, which is from the same company that makes the orange cubes, and this is a high calcium dubia roach diet, so this is specially made for dubias. And this you just sprinkle in there. That's what that little powder was at the bottom, and this is a gut loader. So one, it boosts up the calcium intake that the tarantula would get from the feeder, and then it also boosts any vitamins that the tarantula would get from the feeder as well. Now the only thing with this is that you do have to feed the feeders at least 24 hours before you feed your tarantula, so that they get the benefits from this when they eat the dubia roach. So, but other than that, that's basically about it that goes into the feeders. I know this is kind of just a off-topic video. I mean, it isn't off-topic. It is very much like tarantula related. I know it's not tarantula-centric, this video, but I just wanted to show you guys that because I figured that was a pretty interesting part about keeping tarantulas that everybody should know, I believe. So, and then one thing before I go here, these are what I use. I showed these off in my video about what equipment I use. These are just the tongs. You can use these for multiple things. I just use these to grab the feeders just because it's better than having the feeder crawl on you and or run away on your hand, because sometimes they're fast. So I just use these and they work out pretty good. So thank you guys very much for watching. Again, sorry there was no video last week. Just got caught up doing some work stuff. But this video will be out today, of course. And then next week there will be another video. And I am going to be working on getting some better shorts out on Tuesdays. So, and then just improving my videos all around. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I appreciate you guys watching. I always do. If you guys did enjoy it, please do like, subscribe, and comment. I know it sounds very YouTuber-y to say that, but it really does help because I like reading your guys' comments. It's awesome, seeing that you guys enjoy the videos and seeing that you guys love the tarantulas, love seeing them, love seeing the spiders, and that's just, it makes me very happy. And plus the liking of it does help because it gets more people to see it, which I have seen the benefits of in my other videos. So that's been great. I'm happy that it is starting to reach out to more people, my videos, and more people are starting to like them. So thank you guys again for watching. I really appreciate you guys watching. Again, I know I just said that, but I really do want to iterate that I do appreciate you guys watching, and I'm glad that you guys enjoy the content, and I will continue to make it, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye.